Peace, peace, peace. Shout out to Gianni Rose. What an illness in streetwear, you know? Yo, Alpo Martinez just got the news earlier today. He just died. I can't even say rest in peace. He died at 56 out in Harlem, his own neighborhood, on 147th and Frederick Douglass Boulevard. Got shot, I don't know, maybe from 5 to 15 times, you know, couple to the head, 5 in the chest, outside of a club, a Halloween party or something like that. He had another female passenger in the truck that he was in, the pickup truck, Dodge, 2017 Dodge Ram. Had another person in the back seat. Was this a setup? Obviously it was. They just targeted him and nobody else. This is what happens when you live that lifestyle, you know. When you do dirt, you get dirt, you know. Anybody who know about who Alpo Martinez is, he's a guy that Cameron had played in Paid in Full. His character in Paid in Full was Rico. Big time drug dealer back in the early 80s, along with Rich Porter and AZ Faison. In the movie there was Ace, which was AZ, Mitch was Rich, and Rico was Alpo in Paid in Full, okay? Alpo, he got locked up back in the early 90s, you know. He laid a lot of people down, over probably like 18 that he confessed to the feds. He did like 25 to 30 years. And out of the snitches, well, he started snitching, should I say. He confessed to like 18 murders and was able to get out within 25 years. And you would think once you get out of jail that you would learn your lesson and go harder, because a lot of these people's family members, a lot of people's loved ones are still laying around. Harlem, Brooklyn, DC, which he turned a lot of people on, he killed a lot of his best friends, you know, Lil Gary, Rich Porter, Dementio. So you would think he would go harder, but because of his pride, his arrogance, people feared him on the streets. His name was buzzing all through the jails ever since the 90s, you know. He was like one of the youngest young black legends in the drug history in America, you know, especially out of New York, who one of the youngest to be named, to be making millions upon millions in Harlem, New York, when Harlem was like the wholesale market for all kinds of drugs in the northeastern region. So they was getting dope back when they was 14, 15. You know, they was pushing cars 3 years before it came out. You know, they were the trendsetters of today's fashion. While people wear the strap chains, jewelry. You know, people putting the name brand logos on the side of their cars, and the Stitch logos in their cars with the Gucci patterns, you know, or like you know, their names all embedded, their headrests and everything like that. That was them, you know. They was the ones who were the trendsetters in fashion. You know, when you look at people with the Gucci outfits and Dapper Dan suits and all that stuff, they were the trendsetters, you know. They're the ones who pretty much set that type of trend in Harlem, you know, where you had to get fresh, you had to get fly just to be on that block, you know. Your socks had to match your hat down to your do-rag down to whatever. There was them type of dudes, you know, they was getting it. They were the ballers of the ballers, you know, and everybody feared them, mob style, that's their crew, you know. So he got killed on Halloween out of all days in New York, and the gang culture on Halloween. That was like initiation day, I remember. You know, when people do initiations, but that's when a lot of people get hit on Halloween as far as like targeted people. You know, it's sad to say, like, when it's your time, it's your time, yo. He was feared everywhere. He had a lot of enemies, and he didn't care. He lived life like he was untouchable, like he was a god, like he was a kingpin. His head was gassed up. He was comfortable, walking around in the red carpets. Just a couple of weeks back, you know, going to All-Star game in Bentleys. You know, didn't want to lay low. I think that movie got to his head where he started making documentaries and pretty much mocking the dead, bragging about the things he did, which didn't sit right to many people. How many times do people's loved ones got to keep hearing these stories over and over and over again about the way their loved ones being killed, and he making money and collecting fame off of that? So you live by the sword, you're going to die by the sword, you know? And it's only God that spared his life all the way up to this point where God was showing enough grace and mercy for him to get himself right, get himself together, go and hide him, show some sort of remorse, try to teach the kids, this ain't cool, this ain't the way to go, this is where you're going to end up. He didn't do none of that. He still wanted to live like how he came in the game. And unfortunately got taken out that way. Now you're going to see a lot of bloggers, you're still hearing a lot of bloggers giving their 2 cents in, a lot of people celebrating his death. I don't celebrate and nobody's death, no matter how wrong they did, you know. That's just not cool. That don't sit well with me. You got people's family, his sons are mourning right now, you know. Loved ones are still mourning. I don't wish nobody in a hellfire. But when you live in that, when you gassed up and you got that battery in your back and you think you're untouchable and people praising you, fronting and not telling you the truth, you're going to feel high-minded. It's like you're going to start sleeping, thinking that things can't happen to you. And that's when things happen, man. So anytime you start mocking and try to make money off of the dead, anytime you do dirt like that, killing your best friends, betraying family members and friends, and doing all that for the love of money and greed, snitching on people, and because nothing happened to you then, you think you're untouchable. Guess what? Get a rude awakening, man. So this goes to show, like people like 6ix9ine and the rest of y'all who feel like snitching is cool. Just do your time, keep your mouth to yourself, and learn your lesson. Learn from your lessons and change from the way you've been doing things so you can live to see another day without having to watch your back. It ain't cool having to watch your back. Alpo, he accepted his fate. He probably don't realize the degree of his fate that he's going to face when the judgment comes. He's facing it now. He didn't care about the consequences. And we all got to wake up because we all did dirt. We can't celebrate on one man's dirt. We all did dirt, and we all got to start changing our ways for real before it's too late. So let this be a lesson to those that want to try to imitate that drug dealer's lifestyle and want to be a murderer and everything. Live that life, man. You see how Alpo ended up? Just another example how what's going to happen to you.